Beneath the battered shores of Life Tooth Rock, 4 prisoners discover a lantern untended and a key misplaced. Freedom awaits 3 floors above. A warrior, a cleric, a barbarian, and an elf begin. The party slugs and punts their way through level 1, fists and fury. Rats, goblins, and hobgoblins fall. They evade a chaos lord, loot some fool's gold, and defeat a mummy guarding the exit. Spoils of war. They strap a suit of heavy armor on the cleric. The elf finds a ring worth 150 gold pieces. Not magic. The barbarian quaffs their 1 healing potion, and the party climbs the secret stairs to level 2. Welcome back to our attempted prison break. I have completed level 2 off camera, and I'm still getting comfortable with the rules and mapping and journaling and what's important and what's interesting and what is not. So I hope this battle report style is enjoyable for now. Before I turn the page here, I want to say that I am very impressed with the stories that can emerge from this tiny tome. When I began, I estimated the chance of survival of this party at roughly 0, plus or minus. And that was pretty accurate. So let's see what happened. Level 2 turned out to be quite large, twice the number of rooms. In the very first room, they defeat a pack of goblins and find an escape scroll. Now, escape scrolls, normally you use these and you're teleported to the first room of the dungeon, which is also the exit, usually. But this dungeon is different. The first room isn't the exit. So I've decided when the entrance and the exit are different places, escape scrolls move you to the exit. That means if someone's on the 3rd floor and uses this scroll, they're free. They escape the prison. They're teleported to the secret stairs to the surface, and they're out. Only wizards and elves can cast the escape spell. So at this point, I thought only the elf could use the scroll. So the party gave it to her. But that's not true. Anyone except the barbarian can use scrolls. Barbarians don't do magic. So I would have rolled to see who got the scroll. But I didn't. So I decided that they give the elf the scroll so she can identify it. And she knows what it is. And she's like, oh, no, this is cursed. It's a good thing none of you used this. I'll just put this here for safekeeping. No one accidentally uses this. And so they wind their way through the level. By the time they find this orc brute and defeat him, by the time they fight him, the cleric is now out of heals, and that's bad. There's no more healing unless we find some on the way. And by the time they get to corridor 19 in these 2 doors, everybody is 1 injury away from death. So, except the cleric. He's doing okay. So corridor 19, we're outside door D here. I'm using the optional locked doors feature in the core rulebook, and I don't have a rogue, so I can't lockpick. So my only options when I come across a locked door are blast it with magic or try to bash it down. The elf has a couple of spells, but she's saving those for boss fights. So bashing it is. And bashing success depends on the random sturdiness of the door. So we're here in corridor 19. Almost everyone is almost dead. And both doors forward are locked, the northern door and the western door. I roll a 6 on sturdiness for both doors, maximum sturdiness. So I have to roll high to succeed. And if I roll a 1, not only do we fail, but our shenanigans attract wandering monsters. I'm already thinking we're going to lose some people, possibly the whole party, in our next fight. So this is risky. They pick the western door. The warrior rolls a 6. The door flies open, and inside the room is a wandering alchemist who sells, of all things, healing potions. So, side note, I'm having a little trouble imagining a wandering alchemist sort of strolling through level 2 of Life Tooth Rock, selling his wares. Something that is maybe a prisoner locked in here and forced to brew for his gruel, but then it's still odd that he sells potions. So maybe it's a goblin alchemist who agrees to not sound the alarm in return for his life. But then why wouldn't the party not just take the potions? So maybe there's something going on with the force or forces that have contrived this whole scenario, and this has been arranged, so to speak. Still, why wouldn't they kill and take? They're not in the most agreeable mindset right now. So yeah, I think we'll go Monty Python with this. And indeed, there is a wandering alchemist here. It's sort of like, oh, hello. Are you a wandering alchemist? Oh, yes, I am. But what are you doing here? I could ask you what you're doing here, couldn't I? But I'm not, am I? I mean, it's a certain kind of person that goes around asking other people what they're doing, isn't it? It's rude. Right, sorry. It's all right. Fancy restorative. So the elf trades the ring she found for 3 healing potions, and just like that, we are in great shape. It completely restores them. Well, I mean, we have no weapons and no defense to speak of, and no cleric heals left, and we still have to find the final boss of this level. But other than that, great shape. So we explore the rest of the map, and in this final room, F, we find the final boss, a Medusa. And this is bad. The first thing you do with a Medusa is roll to see who gets turned to stone. Roll a 4 or higher on a d6. The warrior, stoned. The barbarian, stoned. The elf, stoned. The cleric makes it. And this is amazing because 3 times per adventure, a cleric can bless someone, which will, well, let's just read it. Spells. Blessing. This spell removes a curse from a character. A curse is a game effect, gained by stepping into a cursed room. Blessing will also remove other conditions, such as being turned to stone by a Medusa. So, the cleric now just needs to not die while he one by one blesses his friends. So he blesses the warrior and gets hit by the Medusa, and blesses the elf and gets hit by the Medusa, and blesses the barbarian and gets hit by the Medusa. In the meantime, the elf lands a devastating lightning bolt on the Medusa. The warrior whiffs, and now the barbarian completely forgets about his rage ability, but his die explode. If you roll a 6, you roll again and add it, and if you roll another 6, you just keep going. The barbarian kills the Medusa something like 3 times over, and we don't have weapons, so that was a single punch or a headbutt or something. He was not happy about being petrified, I guess. The Medusa was guarding 4 healing potions. According to the campaign plot, escape the dungeon rules, which is amazing, and a 2-handed sword, which they give to the barbarian. He deserved it after that display. And then they climb the stairs to level 3. Now, the elf has that escape scroll. As soon as she gets to the top of the stairs, she can use that, and she's out. She's free. Will she? We will find out next time. Until then, friends, keep your lanterns lit and your hearts warm. Thanks for watching.